You know, back in my day, we didn't have no dodge bars, we didn't have no gosh dang mastery system with some Lex enforcement agency or a worse version of chaos waste tomfoolery. We had RNG that didn't want anything less than 50 hours for perfect stats on weapons, and freak of nature psychers that crashed our graphics cards along with our retinas. Now we have plasma gun enemies that seem to be lore accurate, and somehow Grandfather Nurgle using tactical strategy to send pox bursters specifically only when I'm on a bridge.
Confirms that enemy forces are converging on the strike team's location.
Then we keep moving. Stay ahead of them.
You're not listening, Sorta. I applaud initiative.
Last time I played Darktide was... oh damn, it has been a minute. And in that very brief hiatus, Fat Shark seems to have upped the difficulty. That or I am actually feeling my age, and that is not something I want to think about. Darktide's difficulty scaling and gameplay is significantly higher than I last remember, and I think it is a step in the right direction and leads to a promising future of Tide. Especially when the new character is getting announced on the 18th, I am very stoked to see how this all plays in the narrative that is being built by the devs. Before, Darktide's lore was pretty straightforward, but incredibly lackluster on launch. You're a prisoner in the penal legions under the Inquisition on the Morning Star, and you get sent to do suicide missions against a Nurgle cult on the planet Atoma. Now the basics are still there, but now the plot is really coming together as a narrative team has built out the personalities for the crew of the Morning Star. So much so that we have lore channel theories, crafting, building out characters like Zola, and even Interrogator Rannick. Plus the Arbites are just dope as all get out, and we're introduced in a fantastic way. Generally I'm hoping the next class gets as much fanfare as the Arbites did, because I just don't have any complaints. And complaining is against the will of the Lex. Plus the Cyberdog. Hell yeah. The dialogue has significantly improved between classes as well, which makes it feel more exciting, especially compared to Vermintide characters. I still haven't decided if the custom characters was a good move from the older game, but how it's playing out definitely is helping to enjoy it more. I also appreciate that we have a campaign map now, so you know what missions to do if you are so inclined. If you don't feel like playing through them in order, that's totally fine. There's an after-action mission report with each of our supervisors getting more and more used to the idea of 4 people chugging through over 1,000 enemies at a time. Besides, you're just going to play them in quick play anyway, so it doesn't matter if you play them in order. Now, originally this video was going to cover the lore, who's who, and what's what. However, I noticed my background footage, well, it sucked. Dying, yeeted, eaten, spanked, ganked, and in general jumped by the lowliest of traders. Darktide got hard, and I am feeling it. In general, the special events seem to be kicking my hardest difficulty only ass back down to Malice. Soul and Rations doesn't feel as bad, as more of like, it's kind of like this self-inflicted stick in the bicycle wheel meme. But the last 2 events, I can't really remember the names, but the Plasma Gunners and Never-Ending Pox Bursters beat my ass so hard I heavily considered uninstalling. As in, I did uninstall, and now I'm back before the new character drops. The difficulty even on Damnation seems crazy intense with the new mechanics. Now before you type skill issues, I've cruised through Auric, done the Twin Secret mission, and was even able to keep playing with 3 Psychers on my team. Okay, I know what I'm doing, just let me feel justified in this, please. Auric now feels like a pipe dream. It's like the Plasma Gunners are just clocking in for an easy paycheck. Now generally that is a skill issue on my part, so those comments are valid and I'll take the beating on that one. But like I said before, Auric was a breeze, and that's a problem. We shouldn't be stomping down these heretics for the Holy Emperor like it's nothing. Faith without any tempering fires, paper thin, ready to tear at the first resistance. And from a gameplay standpoint, it's way more fun to actually have to earn the win. Particularly if they started adding more cosmetics that were hard to earn, you could show off to random people who instanced with you on the Morningstar. To me, gaming in general is missing that old school, like, oh damn, you actually got that cosmetic. I think the best way to word it is like vanilla WoW mounts and titles. You had to grind to earn it and compete for it. While I know that is a totally different genre, the new difficulty trend adding in harder titles, frames, and other cosmetics would be a game changer for me and give me a reason to keep seeking out the next steps for something new. Penances are okay. I mean, they are essentially that. It's just, it could be cooler. It's not as pulled out as I'd like it to be, and that might just be me complaining. Particularly in regards to free cosmetics, I'm sorry, but I could give 2 wet fart about charms. Even the Stolen Rations event reward is just like a worm, a rat tail. I didn't know if there's Skaven in here. It just could be better. This honestly is a real nitpick on my part because I'd much rather prefer free events, better gameplay, and better build crafting, which Fat Shark is doing. Overall, I am very happy with the direction of Darktide is going. Tide in general is getting harder. I should get back into Vermintide, but I started with 40k, and the 500 Worlds trailers have got me pretty excited about the potential lore coming. So it's hard to dip my toes into poverty... Ooh, what is that? So it's hard to dip my toes into Poverty Peasant Simulator. That was a hard one. PPS. That might be a male thing. Well, I don't want to milk this video for too much. It's more of just me being happy that Darktide is hard in a way that feels more rewarding. Some might say that might be masochism, which is a big word for Elmo. I just like the game. As always, thanks for watching. Expect a video drop for the new character soon.